Welcome back to All Things Robotics, a series of informal conversations on robotics. We again have Professor Akul Thakur, Professor Sujay Kadam, and I am Harish P.
So if I'm an internship applicant and I apply to you, what are the things that you look for in my application? I think this will be very valuable for students who want to apply for internships.
No, that I think everybody will have different answers, but certainly I think the things that you mentioned, where I think the first most important thing that I look for is how enthusiastic the person is about working in the lab with us, and that evidence of enthusiasm can come in many forms and shapes. And skill sets, I think I typically expect students to have at least tried to develop some of those skills on their own. We do actually need skills, wide variety of skills. We can have programmers in the lab, we can have designers in the lab, we can have electronics people in the lab. So I'm not looking for any particular skills, but whatever skills they are interested in, typically I look for, have they tried to develop themselves in that direction? Have they taken efforts to either learn on their own or do something in their own college, or watch some online videos, or try something and put it on GitHub? So I look for evidence, even if they are not developed some of those skills. I look for evidence that they really want to do it and they've tried to do it.
I see that point. So there has to be some attempt made by the student. That should be evident.
That's one form of evidence that I use, but as I said, everybody will have
This
a
is
different
true
perspective.
actually, and the other way to look at it is that many times students feel that, oh, I tried making a CAD model of an engine, but I failed because I couldn't get all the details right. Actually, that itself is a big thing. If you can articulate your failure and why you failed and where you failed, that is a big accomplishment. So
Absolutely.
attempt doing things. If you fail, articulate why you failed and how you can succeed in the future. These four things will be very important. And from skill set point of view, as you said, programming, CAD modeling, right, little bit of embedded systems, Arduino programming, these kind of system integration. So these are different skills.
Yeah, and then one other thing that I might just mention is, uh, I think, of course, through colleges sometimes there are ways to apply for internships, but you can directly approach labs. In educational institutions, you apply to industries also directly. There are also international internship opportunities. Maybe one of you can comment on that. But the other thing that I am seeing growing is people looking for opportunities through unconventional channels, like, so, through LinkedIn you look for opportunities and then you contact somebody, or some other means like that. I think that is also becoming very effective way to kind of look for opportunities, where you're directly writing to somebody or reaching through LinkedIn and other things. So do you want to comment on any of those, or also?
Yeah, the objective has to be learning. The objective should not be adding one more thing in your CV, in your resume. Please keep this in mind. When you are approaching anyone for doing an internship, please keep this in mind that uh, you are doing it for learning, sake of learning, and for sake of improving yourself, and not just to add something in your CV so that you can get a higher paying job later on. You will get a higher paying job later on if you get the skill as a side effect of learning. So learning is of primary importance.
No, and I think that's becoming more and more important now, because I think I do see a lot of CVs with a lot of different projects listed. I think a lot of students approach this with the mindset that I need to have a very dense CV. I need to show that I've done the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. But I don't see that as bringing a lot of value to me. Where the first conversation I have with the student, immediately it's clear how deep they've gone and how seriously they've approached it. I think that seriousness of how you are able to approach whatever you've done, how well you've done, I think that comes across very clearly in any interview or interaction. I think just having a flowery CV, I don't think is advisable, at least from my perspective. I would again and double down on what Atul said. I think don't approach it with that perspective. That okay, I will have big company names on my
It's not
CV.
good for you as well.
It's not good for you, I would say.
So coming back to the point you mentioned, Harish, about directly reaching out to people, I think that's very important for two reasons. One, the world has become smaller. I know what people do online. So for instance, a certain university or a certain professor may list the projects what they're doing, and I may find as a student one of the projects very interesting. And since I have worked on it or I have a certain interest, I may directly write to the professor. So that may be true about industry because this LinkedIn and things where you know what industries are doing. So the direct connect would, the first layer kind of is already done where the interest part is clear. I know that this person is now interested in doing so and so. Then the steps further become much more easier. So then it's much more one-to-one conversation, and then you can actually decide what you're going to work on. So I totally agree with that point that you should reach out to people directly.
So one last thing maybe we can talk about, since we didn't get a chance to talk about, is what do you see from your perspectives, an average undergraduate student? Are there opportunities where at some point they can explore international internships? Are there means to apply for those? Are there ways where within India there's some funding available or the other? Any comments on that?
Yeah, I think two-part answer. One, international, internships. So many universities abroad do have their own intern requirements. So you can, as I said earlier, you can directly reach out to people. They usually have some room for internships. They do offer internship positions through the summer or something like that. So there are also international agencies. So if I'm not wrong, IAEA would offer some internships in energy domain and things like that. You have to be aware. You have to reach out, to people there and see if there are opportunities available. Coming to the India scene, I think a lot of the IITs have their own summer research internship programs. Even that's now a trend in private universities. They have their own summer research internships, not necessarily research, but then summer internships. So many good programs already happening in academia in India. Uh, there are government organizations, PSUs, who offer on a regular basis certain internships to students. Students should look out for what their interest is actually. And then uh, you know there are, so just case in point is it need not even be technical sometimes. So for instance, in our university we have like a rural internship, and the objective is really to go to a village, work with an NGO, and do certain activities that would be helpful to the community. So there are many avenues, not necessarily technical again. You just have to see what fits best for you, what is the best that fits your interest. So,
Yeah, I think the opportunities are growing, even if some of them are lower probability opportunities. I think everybody can try, applying to some of these internships.
Yeah, and in the beginning, I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't expect too much of a compensation. Uh, let me give a different perspective to it. Um, if I have an option of going for an internship uh, with some sort of compensation, some sort of stipend, but I don't like to work in that field, or it's something that I just got, and I mean, just to put on my CV, I can go there, but I don't like that field. And there is another internship available which is in some startup company where there is an opportunity to actually delve into a real time project, a project which when I work on, I can see it in the market. There is a chance of seeing it in the market. I would choose the later one, even if it involves more hardship, even if it involves no stipend. In the beginning, I would prefer that as opposed to.
No, 100% agree. I think you're pitching internship as really an investment in yourself. So you want to make the right investment. It is not that just having a stipend or having a better brand name is necessarily the right investment. Of course, there are many big companies which offer very good internships. I'm not saying that they are not good internships, but startups, for instance, can be very intense experience because you get to see the full product development cycle sometimes. So I would also encourage.
And there's a lot of uncertainty in a startup environment, which gives you a view into how actual real world is. If you go to a well set place where there is an internship program going on for 20 years, I think you will learn very less, because they have figured out all kinks and all kind of they have ironed out all the details. So uncertainties are a good field to learn things, as opposed to where you have no uncertainty.
So
This is
sometimes a
my
bumpy,
perspective. Yeah.
sometimes a bumpy journey is better than a smooth journey, at least in the beginning of your career for a 1 month, 2 month duration.
Anything worth doing is difficult.
I totally agree with that point on uncertainty. Uncertainty actually helps you learn better, or learns you.
It is painful,
Makes
but it helps you learn better.
helps you learn. Definitely.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Wonderful. I think what we are all saying is you should explore opportunities for internships whenever you get a chance, regardless of what skill level you are and where you are in your career, and use it as an opportunity to invest in yourself and explore whether you are able to do something, you like it, and you develop certain skills in the process of doing that. Okay,
Then
thank you.
embrace uncertainty.
Yes, and embrace uncertainty.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.